You're about to make me go. All right, all right. Just let me know if you're here. Let me know if you can hear me. Just say what's good. I forgot I put this silly virtual screen behind me. Hold on, let me see. Can I take that off? Yeah. Let's see. Can I take that off? All right. Let me know if you can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up real quick if you can hear me. I ain't did this in a minute, so you know how that goes. But we are here live and live. Nobody talking, so I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. Let me put something in the chat. Uh, oh, good. All right, I can hear you. All right, good. Good. Kamari, are you joining us? I thought you was going to be one of our little individuals that join us. Let me know if you join. I put the link on the chat afterwards. I put the link on the post where we were discussing it earlier. So if you joining, let me know real quick. So today, as you can see, I'm just not getting off, work, but coming from work. They had a little basketball game with the girls. They got the W. So, they doing good. So just got here right now. But so I'm here and we're trying to discuss Deion Sanders. I'm way behind on the news. I feel like we should be discussing Brittany Greer tonight, but it is what it is. You feel me? We got Deion Sanders because that's been a heavy topic of conversation on Facebook, on Twitter. That's been a big thing about Deion Sanders' move to a different, to a different job. To come up for my man. So we definitely need to have that conversation and discuss it. So, Kamari, when you join, let me know. I'll go there. But as y'all know, my man's so my man's he said, see if they'll go live with you. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. But so James, you're supposed to join too. So you could jump on there too. But let's get started though. So as y'all know, my guy Deion Sanders. The craziest thing is I don't really follow too much college football like that. All I know is from what I heard from Colorado, Mel Tucker came from Colorado. Michigan State is not happy with Mel Tucker from my understanding, but bless his heart anyhow. But the other information is like, yo, what's going on with Deion Sanders, a guy who, like, what I did know about him, and which I did not know much. I didn't even know about him as a football player, to be honest with y'all. So I am like real low level on this topic. But I just remember seeing how much he promoted HBCUs, and how much like it was big that he was able to get the number one recruit, to I think it's Jackson State. So it was a huge thing. And so I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that I thought it was a rumor. I thought it was a rumor that he was like, I thought it was a false rumor that he was like considering the Colorado job. I'm like, nah, man, because from what everything I've heard about this dude in the news, it's always been, hey, he's heavy on HBCUs. He's heavy on HBCUs. So, like, nah, there's no way you're gonna leave that job because he's been big on getting people to commit to HBCUs and making them making that like the way to go these days. So I can't even lie to you. I was a little shocked when the brother decided that he was going to Colorado, and my first instinct was, wow, what people do for money. That was my first like thought process, and then I started reading different comments online, and people started sharing, what they felt about it, and I kind of like, I'm still stuck in the middle here, but I want to hear what other people has to say. So first off, Ken, tell us what you think. Um, and then I want, if you want to join me, feel free to join me. Like I'm down with that. I'm down to a discussion. Like I said, I'll play devil's advocate because everybody now like, oh no, he's not sellout. When I first saw the news, everybody was like, yo, dude's a sellout. He's a sellout. He's a clown. That's what that guy gave him that hard shoulder that day because he's not real SWAC or whatever they call it. SWAC. I don't know how the correct pronunciation, but they say he ain't real. You understand? He was a liar. He's a setup from the beginning, and all he wanted to do is get money. So, real quick, I'll show some comments. My guy Marcus here, he says, "We are the only community that bashes a person for getting a better job and moving to another step forward." Yeah, I mean, I think that is a very symbolization of what actually happened because clearly we support our people moving up. Nobody bashed Barack Obama for going from senator to president Barack Obama. All right, so nobody bashed him for that. Nobody was like, oh, he left Senate, he left Chicago, now he want to be president. Never did that. So I don't think that's true. It's definitely, I think that for us to put it in those simple terms is like just kind of like weird because clearly the dude was big on HBCUs. Clearly, he was promoting HBCUs. Everything I've seen about him has been about HBCUs, and like I said, that's where I kind of feel like a lot of frustration might be coming in because a lot of people felt that way. So that's the issue. It's not that my man was like getting a come up and everybody mad at him. The issue is how it came about. He started with HBCU. You thought he was HBCU for life, and my man switched up. Within a weekend. It was shocking, to say the least. It was shocking. All right, Kamari, do you have a link to join? James, you have a link? I put the link there, so please feel free to join. Okay, we need to. I don't want to be the only one discussing this. Like I said, I feel prepared to discuss this. And I haven't been able to do my research. I want to show a few videos. The one video was funny was my man's like give him the code. Showed him really trying to give him a hug. Like nah, bro. So whatever. I feel like you're in a position to help lift up and level the playing field in the Black community. I think you have a moral obligation to do it. Yeah, we need you on there. Let me know when you get on, man. I'll join you. I agree to the point. Corey, all right, here we go. He said in the interview he was going to entertain Power 5 offers, which like and like I said, like Corey, I'm not like as up to date about what literally happened with my man. I'm not up to date about it, so I don't know exactly. I don't see how you're on tomorrow. I don't see you like in the waiting room or nothing, so I don't know how you would be on. Let me see here. Yeah, you like pop up. Now I just had to renew I had to cancel this. Let me tell y'all real quick. Because I know I had to cancel the restream because that's what I use. Because I'm like I'm not even doing the podcast, so I had to go reactivate it. That's took a little time. So I don't know if they got some switch, but I don't see that you're on yet. Let me know when you get here, though. I am. So try to rejoin. Let me see if there's another invite link to. One day we're going to be so big, I'm going to have everybody doing this for me in the background. That's going to be amazing. Just wait. So add, share screen, invite guest. All right. So I'm going to put it at the end of my. I'm just going to put it on the Facebook. That's how you join. All right. So I put it on there real quick. So looking forward to people joining. Now it says he said in an interview earlier that he was going to entertain Power 5 offers, which is like cool. Like yeah, like me and my cousin was discussing this. Like yo, he made it clear that this was not what he was on. He definitely all right. There you go. I see you now. There you go, preacher. See what happened. All right.
Yes.
Hey, so real quick, you know, like we said, so Corey says like yo, he already said he was going to entertain the Power 5 offers. So what does one have, you know, like why would people be upset with this brother entertaining the Power 5 offers? Why people be upset like, hey, this is a come up. Why are we mad at a come up?
Right.
You know, why are we mad at a come up? The man he just give more money. Let me cut my light on.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Look at
that light on me.
This debate, you know, it furthers revealed a lot of issues in our community. One is that, you know, we value money over community. And two is the underfunding of HBCUs. I feel like, you know, if Jackson State could have paid Deion Sanders what Colorado was paying him, Of course, they would have paid him what he was worth. But that's the problem that most HBCUs are underfunded. So if you didn't go to an HBCU, you can't really speak on that. Another thing is that Deion Sanders, he graduated from Talladega College, and I was a graduate of there. So I talked to the president. I said, "So do you think Deion Sanders, I really don't personally think he did the work for the degree. I feel like he worked something out and they was able to give him a degree. I feel like Deion Sanders is a finesser. So I said, what you think about the Deion? I asked my president, I said, what you think about the Deion Sanders situation? He said it was a lot of politics involved. And I feel like what I was saying is, I feel like if you are in a position to level the playing field for real. That's why I think why a lot of people so mad, because he came here, I believe, and all this other stuff. He came in there giving us hope that, okay, you don't got to go to Michigan State or whatever to be seen. You can come to HBCU. So a lot of people, for the first time, they was.
You know what? And that's like, honestly, man. So honestly, I kind of, that's my issue. Yeah, that's my issue, is that I think that we all struggle with this, though, as people, as overall people. But I think that's the issue. Where he was, he took it, he used it to his advantage. Like, I'm going to promote HBCUs, but was so quick to like push that to the side. And that can't be just like.
Let me tell you this. Another thing that made me mad about him is that, I don't know if you saw this though, but when he first got to Jackson State, he came and did a press conference saying, somebody stole all his stuff. And whole time somebody put it up for him because he had it just laying around. And then he gets to Colorado, he talking about no crime here, as if he coming from a high crime area. Like, I ain't like that. I feel like that was so low level.
Yeah, he's not I don't know, man. I went back and forth on this topic a few times, and I totally like I said, I think he took advantage of the opportunity where he was. So he was at an HBCU, so he knew the talking points to use. He's a masterful, he's good with publicity. But his whole intention was to never stay at that level. And I don't even know if that was his whole intention. I think that he wasn't offered nothing, so he couldn't take nothing. But if he was offered, it wouldn't have been no HBCU, never. I think he went there because nobody else who would give, Deion Sanders a coaching job at a, Power 5 school or Power 9 school, whatever they call it. Who would give him a regular coaching job? So he went to that HBCU, like everybody like, he did this great thing. No, he was able to use his power of media manipulation and was able to get the school more attention. I will give him credit. I appreciate that much about him. But let's not say like everybody's like, we got to say, for example, Clifton, he was like, I was mad at first. Wait, I'm sorry. That's not Clifton. I'm going to come back to you, Marcus, because I saw you said something. But Clifton said, I was mad at the beginning, but there's probably more going on at JSU than we know with administration, finance management. We're just seeing the outside of things. Everybody wasn't necessarily happy with Coach Prime even being at JSU to begin with. So that's him. Then Marcus has said no other race is having the discussion about him except us as a people. Now I don't know.
That's because the way he came in there.
He came in there. And I don't know who his friends are. We don't know, Marcus, who your friends are. Maybe you don't have a feed with people having a discussion. I don't know what that is. I don't know why. He says over the past 2 years, he has elevated and puts SWAC and MEAC on a national level like never before. Yeah. He paid out of his own pocket to help the water problems in the stadium.
That's he didn't pay to help the water problem. He did donate half his salary to the new practice facility at JSU.
We'll give him that.
Yeah. So he did do that.
Yeah, and that's cool. The point is, though, it still remains the brother left them high and dry. That's the biggest thing.
Let me ask you this.
Nobody has seemed to address yet.
Let me ask you this. What do you say to people that say, he was too big or too good for HBCU?
But like I said, man, me going to HBCU, I love my people. It was so funny, man, because somebody asked me, I have gone so back and forth on this topic. It's just unbelievable. I feel bipolar. But I remember somebody asked me, like, "Oh, would you leave?" Like, because I get a lot of kids to Oakwood, as everybody knows. But so somebody asked me, like, "That's like you taking kids to Michigan." I said, "Yo,
Right,
if they give me $5 million, they will be at Michigan State."
right, right, right,
But
right.
I mean, but no. Honestly, on a real tip, I just think like it's further. What he did, the question have to be asked. And this is what I would like to ask a person who says he's elevated, he's done well for himself. The question has to be asked, did he leave them in a worse position? Did he make HBCUs look look,
Gullible.
inferior to the other schools? That's the question you have to ask. Yes, he did good. He
But
did
let me
good.
ask you this. Let me ask
Yes,
you
sir.
this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I've been telling people, they say, yeah, Deion Sanders did this, and I said, let's be honest, that's Deion Sanders, NFL Hall of Famer. I said when he leave, most of that stuff leaving with him.
Oh
Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
like if you watch their pregame videos and stuff, they used to always have celebrities and stuff in the locker room and stuff. And one celebrity, he made a video saying, "All right, Jackson State, it was good while it lasted. Now off to Colorado. Now he about to bring all that attention to them."
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what people are not taking into account. Like, yes,
Right,
while he was there, he was good for them. I
right,
agree, but that's not leaving them in a better place.
right.
That's not. I believe he split HBCUs. I think he set them back. We have to talk
Yes.
about that, and that's where people are getting into like he's not doing well. Now here we go. Now we got speculation. Okay.
Well,
He
no, Deion
says,
Sanders actually owed Jackson State $300,000 because he left before his contract was over.
"Oh yeah, that's easy. That's easy
Yeah.
money." But he go with that. Let me see here. Hold on. He says there is speculation that the JSU president not pay him the contractual money owed to him after the $30K of ticket revenue. He had asked for his coach staff to get paid more, and they said that he would have to pay out of his pocket. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can't get into the speculations now.
Right,
Can't
right.
get
We
into
got to go with the
speculation.
facts.
Yes. So Richard Grundy said, "Now, Richard, you were one of the ones that were going to join. I thought. Let me know if you join. We put the link there. Hold on. Let me get it. Reggie said he left. He left them in a better place. That's what Reggie said. He says it happens with. You gotta explain that comment, Reggie. It happens with the white power 5 schools all the time. Didn't Mel Tucker? Am I right about that? Mel Tucker
Yeah,
came.
Mel Tucker was at Colorado. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's
that's
true.
crazy.
And Colorado been a losing team for the last 15 years.
Yeah. Even with Mel Tucker.
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
That's why he left. Yep.
well, he ain't doing better with Michigan State. I'll post the link again. Hold on 1 second. That's the link. The link is there again. Join us. Join us if you will. Join us if you will. We have a lot to talk about. We're on the Deion Sanders situation. We're trying to figure out if this brother is a sellout. Now, I don't want to go as far as calling because people throw around that sellout word real quick. So I'm not one.
I wouldn't call him a sellout though.
Yeah.
I would call him an opportunist.
Opportunist. Now that's a word for it. That's a word
Because
for
I feel like if he was a sellout, he would have got there and did nothing.
Yeah. I think Reggie has he's a clown. He said Mel Tucker will be a champion if he don't get that team together.
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus says perfect word. Not a sellout, but an opportunist is the brother. And I agree. I feel like he took the opportunity over at if you have a job, you're an opportunist.
But
That's
what I got a problem about with that is that don't say I'm here to help these black young men and all this
exactly.
other. Don't sell that type of dream.
Everybody, that's the craziest part, right? Everybody is not following. Like I think like the situation is different. Like if he went to the HBCU, he coached and that was it, right? And he did his thing. But people understand, like, I have watched the statements, and I promise you, I have not followed anything to do with this dude. Like, I've not followed him at all.
Right.
But I just remember, like, seeing, like, oh man, he about to take HBCUs to the next level.
Right.
Oh man, like everybody coming to Jackson State, whatever for him is that's what everybody was saying. The entire piece. So it's not about like people trying to make it seem like, oh, he just took a job and he did good for himself. It's not. That's not the only thing. That's what y'all pissing me off about that for real, because it's just not that situation.
Right.
Here go Mr. Hey, Marcus, man, you need to join. I was trying to find somebody. Deion said God told him to save HBCUs and said it's not about the money. Then he left for the money. Have mercy.
That's
mercy.
That's what I'm saying. Don't
You need that quote, Marcus. Post that link to that quote. All right, we got Richard Grundy here. We're gonna bring him on. I got Richard Grundy now.
The one and only.
Like you have a different opinion about this brother leaving this good HBCU that he said God told him.
Right.
God told him that. God told him to save HBCUs
and then leave when he get the first opportunity
for the money. What do you say to that, Mr. Grundy?
So I look at it like this. I do feel for the kids, for the students, right? Because I think that some of those students, some of them saying their best football days in high school, right? And when they made that decision to go to a college, and everybody can jump in that portal. But outside of that, just from a point of people like serving the community and serving, whoever your community is and other people, I want people to kind of do what makes them happy, because life is so short at the same time and have that opportunity. So that's where I'm coming from the standpoint. I think he did bring a lot of awareness to how HBCUs can compete football wise, right? And he exposed the gaps. If for nothing else, that's still a value, right? That's still a value, and that's something that's still there. The fact that they went 12-0, that they were able to get TV contracts and all of these other things. Mm-hmm. But his son was
that remain? Would a TV contract remain?
That's what I'm saying.
Remain, or are they gonna be in the transfer portal?
Well,
right.
Yeah, some of them may be in the transfer portal, and some of them ain't gonna be able to go nowhere else. But
exactly,
I mean, it still shows what's possible. Like, we can always hope without seeing it, but the fact that we've seen it, you know what I mean? Now we know what's actually possible. Plus, I even look at his family, right? Like his son, the quarterback is certified, right?
Shador.
Yeah, he's certified, so he could have went anywhere. And he went to that school. So I think that he made some sacrifices as well. I think that he made a lot of sacrifices by going there. And I think that they actually did him a favor, like you said. Like, he wouldn't have a degree if it wasn't for this opportunity, period. Because he didn't necessarily, I almost want to say he didn't work for it or whatever. But again,
so they gave him a degree at Talladega?
Yes.
In order for him
to be able to didn't work for we said.
Yeah.
Yep, I was there.
So people are wondering. So this is this was Mr. Jason.
I think he needed to he tried to apply before.
This is what Jason Seller said. Jason Seller says, and I want you to respond to this, Kamari. I want you to respond to this because Jason Sellers, and I've heard this a lot. And me and Jason Sellers, we got a lot more to talk about because we got to talk about Brittany Greer down there as well. Jason Sellers has somebody on his status. They was not good with Brittany Greer being released. Bless his heart. You already know the color. Yeah, that's crazy. But that's a later discussion. But Jason Sellers says, which I've heard this a lot as well. It says, no one person could ever save us. We should know that by now. What do you say to that, Kamari?
I think Jesus is a perfect example because Jesus, he could have been.
You calling that brother Jesus?
Oh no, not Jesus. Well, I agree because
his basic argument is like, hey, y'all put too much stock into these black people. Ain't no one black person can save us. We shouldn't even put that on their back. Why are we doing that to Deion Sanders? You feel me?
No, but what I was saying is that if you're in a position to change the landscape for real of how people view HBCUs and the talent that come to HBCUs, I feel like, you have a moral obligation to stay there and change it.
That's a slippery. That's a real slippery slope to say that anybody has an obligation, because there's always going to be gaps with a lot of. I mean, we're only human, right? Where we always will stick and fulfill all of those obligations or whatever, and to tell somebody else to do it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of people who give back into the community and contribute and invest in things like that, and then it's a lot of people. It's more people that have strong opinions about this that don't. Right. So I
no.
think it's kind of it's a slippery
Yeah,
slope.
it is crazy, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's easier to just
And I feel on
expect
the
people
opposite
to
side
do
of
it.
that because people have called me a sellout. So, like I said, I don't like using that word sellout for nobody. And like I feel like what James Speaking said something earlier on my side, like who even gets to decide who's the sellout and who's not. Like I
Yeah.
hate those type of terms, but you know, a lot of people that was the word. Like, man, did he sell us out?
Yeah.
And like I said, and that for a pause real quick. Just tell us quickly what y'all do. So Kamari, then Richard, just tell us what you do so the people know who they talking to.
Yeah, I'm currently in seminary my second year in
Yes, sir.
in Atlanta.
All right.
I run a nonprofit called Journey, and we teach kids how to code.
Yeah, my God. And the work. And so to that question for you, Mr. Richard Grundy, what does you say? Like when people say, man, you can't save them all, we put too much, we feel that a lot, right? Working with young people all the time, doing that type of stuff. Everybody everybody's supposed to pull their weight, but you know how much how much our people need it.
Yep.
It would be like us going to, so this is the question I would ask you. Would you leave your nonprofit and go to a bigger nonprofit if you got paid
That's good.
money? Would you leave that nonprofit and go?
It depends. Honestly, it depends. Like not necessarily for the money, but time wise, right? Like I know you said you didn't get home until like after 9 and I'm sure you were working, right? In the community or whatever. So it's like if I can make that impact, but that time has to come from somewhere. So I got a family, right? So that time has to come out of my family's bucket or whatever in the community. And I think it's the same thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be family, but it can just be goals. He could have goals, and it's like, where are you going to pull from what bucket are you going to pull, or how long are you going to postpone your own goals or your own wants of things that you want to do? So it would have to be the right situation. But
my thing with this guy here, man, and like I said, I went back and forth on this, and I'll say that over and over again. I went back and forth on this situation. I just what bothered me the most about it is like his advocacy for HBCUs and how huge he was on that, and then it was just like in a drop of a hat, he was like, "I'm going to Colorado." And then another thing I meant to discuss was his speech was weird to me when he went in there talking. I'm like, yo, who does this guy think he is? Like, that's what I knew. So that was my longest. And Corey, he said, I think I watched it on Corey page or something like that. But that's what I knew, that this guy was a buffoon when I saw that speech. He's a clown.
Yeah.
If I was any player, I wouldn't take him serious. But I'm like, I'm coming.
Okay.
and I bring it loose. But let me ask y'all this. So prior to him going to Colorado, how did y'all feel about him though?
I was excited. I love what he was doing for the culture. He was I love, like, when he landed that number one I was like, whoa, that was a big deal. Yeah. So I was like, okay, he about to really help HBCUs make some noise. But when he left, I was like, dang, just like that.
But so this is my thing though, because he didn't get there overnight, right? Like so he I think the rumors were happening Friday, Thursday, whatever.
Yeah.
By Sunday, it was for real. I didn't believe it till I actually seen it.
Man, I didn't believe it.
But it took 3 years though, right? So for 3 years, we were seeing him build this and getting them to a certain point where he was getting the number one recruit and everything like that. Y'all don't think that he's earned a little bit of patience from us to see what to do with this opportunity?
No. First
No.
off, let me say this. Because I think like, see, this is the thing. So what I think is gonna happen here, but it's I don't know what's thinking, because he seems like a pretty smart guy, especially when it comes to the media. Very smart.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
What I think is gonna happen is that he's gonna get exposed. Because immediately when he came in with that speech, bro, like first off, you're not talking to a bunch of black kids no more. That's the first thing. So you got to change up your little dialect. That's the first problem I think he's gonna have immediately. I'm coming. I mean, like he was preaching or something. Then they ain't not going for all that, but because they're gonna be coming too. With their parents and all the donations and stuff. He gonna see some real politics. He gonna see some real money issues and stuff like that, and he's gonna have to face a lot of challenges. So I think he's gonna get exposed a little bit. Why? One, because he was able to get the best players to that HBCU school because of who he was.
Right.
Who is he gonna get to Colorado? That's gonna be the question.
Well, they said a bunch of people jumped in the portal after he got
Yeah, let's see how they compare him against a Michigan down there, huh?
I heard he was trying to get the Vikings former head coach to be his offensive coordinator. He trying to get some. He said he's going to assemble the best coaching staff ever. So we'll see.
The best. I mean, as I said, he sounds like Donald Trump. He's gonna have the best ever, man. Yeah, he sounds like Donald Trump, the bogus guy. But I mean, I'm not gonna say he's a bogus guy, but he comes to me. That speech rubbed me all the wrong way. I'm like, man, this is your first time meeting your team. Your first time in your team, and this is what you come and do.
Well, he told a lot of them that they was gonna have to jump in the portal.
Yeah, he told them like the injured player said, "What about us?" He said, "We're gonna hug, kiss, and say goodbye."
Yeah. Hey, oh my gosh, did you hear what he said about that?
Yeah. I said this man came in on tip.
To say that to a kid that's injured, man, to tell him. So basically, let me tell you something. He's already rubbed the team the wrong way. I would love to talk to some of those team members. He's already rubbed them the wrong way. But the thing is that they say people don't care because they're already losing. So it doesn't matter about him rubbing them the wrong way. Because
and then the quarterback for Colorado, he entered the portal as well, because at the press conference, Deion Sanders introduced his son. He said, "Here go your quarterback right here." I felt like that was just so techy.
He said he's gonna have to compete, but he did say he brought this quarterback, but he's gonna have to earn the job. But yeah, I would have jumped in the portal too if I was.
It sounds like he's gonna be disrespectful. He's gonna be disrespectful. Wait, so my cousin Reggie says he's been the same for 40 years. So this is how he was all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know him. So I'm like, yo, So it makes me better. I kind of better understand it now because I didn't know the guy. So I was just thinking like he coming here trying to show off and all that type of stuff. I saw the cameras following him and all that. So that's why I was like, oh, he's just trying to put on the show.
That's why they call him prime time.
Oh, okay. I mess with it. I mean, I don't mess with it, but I get it. I'm not as go because at first I was like, yo, when I saw that video, like this guy's a clown, man. This guy's a clown.
Let me go back to a point you made. I don't want people to think that I just got to go to HBCU for 2 or 3 years and win a couple of championships and I get a job. I don't want that to be the narrative that HBCUs be a stumping ground for me to go to Power 5.
Yeah. I think that people have done that though. I think that a lot of people have done that, and so they're kind of like justifying their own moves. And which, like, I have to be honest with you. If I was in that same predicament, I would struggle. I would really struggle with that and I would probably try to find a way to justify it. If I'm being honest with myself, like, I'm like, hey, I'm getting $5 million more dollars. So I would. I'm like, oh, I can give more money to my people. You feel me? I'm gonna bless more people with this $5 million than I could ever bless making this $300,000 at an HBCU. You feel me? So I know people will justify it. People will try to make it like, oh, this, he's coming up. It's a move up. We shouldn't be upset with him. And I kind of, to the point, like I said, I kind of agree. I do think it's a good step up for him. I think that he's going to have to prove himself, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. But he's this opportunist. Use the HBCU.
Yes.
Get to a higher school, and I think that was always a part of his plan. I
Yeah,
think
I
he
agree.
was there. So if no school offers him that $5 million, no school offers him those great facilities, he stays at the HBCU. He runs with that story, like, hey, join the HBCU, stay at a HBCU. This is what's for you. He does that, and you never hear about no other school. He would stick to that. But
So he's had interviews in the past on both sides, as far as I need to get my coaches paid. You know what I'm saying? I like this is like there is another level past this, and then he's also been like 100% HBCU. But so the question for y'all is if you have guys that y'all have y'all known and been friends with for years, and they're on your coaching staff, they're making not considerably less than what they could make, right?
Right.
What will y'all do? Will y'all keep them at a HBCU, or are you going to take the opportunity to get them actually paid? You paid, so you don't necessarily have to worry about it personally. Like Prime is, he's good regardless, right? But it's coaches that was down there at Jackson State. They're not the state, they're not Hall of Famers. They don't have financially, they're not as secure.
Well, so here's my thing to that. Like, all right, so as somebody said, yeah, my folks gotta eat.
My folks gotta eat first.
Yeah. So here's my thing with that, right? Why don't you secure them better jobs at other places? That doesn't necessarily mean you're the guy. So you're going to attract talent, and maybe you need to build up talent as they come through. But like, when I worked for the mayor, one of the things he was good at was like he could have went to Washington D.C. easily. I mean, he didn't want to go because he likes being the mayor, but like he could have went to Washington D.C. easily. But he sent his people there and replace them with people he trains and does well. So why can't he
need to be replaced?
Why can't he put his people there? Why can't he? You get what I'm saying?
That's fair. Yeah,
that's what I mean. If he's like,
if you want to build leaders, that's definitely fair for sure.
That's what I would do if I was in that. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's what I would do
because you know how hard it is to put up a team.
Yeah, it is hard. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And this guy, Jason, is clearly only worked on one good team or something. He says the thing about having a squad is that you have to keep it together so it's effective. And I disagree with that. I think, like, if you have a good plan in place and you're a good leader, you can build up anybody. And that's the problem. Like, that's the problem with our people, brother Sellers, is that we always think that we always got to have the same people around. People get, burned out. People want to do different things in their lives. And so you have to continue to have that bench of people and keep coming from behind. So, but hey, we have exhausted every possible avenue with this discussion. I think that the brother Deion Sanders, like we said, the word we would use for him is the opportunities. You can agree with that, Mr. Grundy?
No, I'm not gonna buy that. No.
You're not gonna buy that?
Why you think he played for 5 football NFL teams? He was chasing money.
Was he chasing money?
Yeah, I feel like it must be the money.
What made him jump, man?
I don't know. It must have been it must have been him. Because he the best ever, right?
The best ever what?
The cornerback.
Okay, but I'm saying he's the best ever cornerback, but he ain't the best ever coach. He has
no. We was talking about his football career though, playing career.
Oh, so y'all saying like he already had money basically?
What I'm saying, he raised the point of why did he play for so many different teams in the NFL.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I said he was money chasing.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I can say that he's an opportunist. I think for me, he's earned, like, I kind of look at people like things that they've done in their history or in the past. So nobody's perfect, right? But I'll say with what he's done in the last 3 years, he's earned my patience to kind of like sit back and kind of watch and see what he does with this. Maybe he has a plan that we don't know that he hasn't shared with us. And maybe he doesn't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he is an opportunist, but I think he's earned the patience for us to kind of see.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Right.
It kind of, we will see. And I mean, all good luck to him. You know, I mean, good luck to the HBCU kids that's out there.
Yeah,
Thought they was going to HBCU with Coach Prime, and now he's
now that sucks. Yeah, ain't no getting around that. Because some of them, they probably got to college and realized they really wasn't that good, and they're not gonna be able to go nowhere if they jump in the portal. So hopefully, hopefully they love where they're at, the school that they're at now.
So we'll see what happens. But all right, we'll leave it there. Next topic, y'all can join us there too. Brittany Griner, people say she shouldn't have been released. You know, we'll have to have somebody on here to talk about that. That was kind of wild. I did have that discussion today though, and of course, we have to talk about Kyrie. You know, want to be Farrakhan, Kyrie. You got to talk about him. That guy is a clown to me as well. But bless his
what?
Yeah, he's a clown. But hey, we'll talk about that because Kyrie is and LeBron. Oh my gosh, that straddle in the fence, LeBron. So we got a lot more topics to talk about in the near future. We might jump back on here tomorrow. You understand? But Jason, be ready, man. I'm gonna send you the link, especially for your boy Jason. Gotta send him have him on here as well. So, all right, y'all have a good night, man. Thank y'all for joining. This is a good conversation. We'll talk more, all right?
All right.
All right. Everybody. All right.
All right, again, just like I said, we're gonna be back. Hey Jason, I'm gonna get you on. I'm not lying, bro. I'm gonna send you a link. Just see if your boy can come, or you know somebody that has that opposing viewpoint, let me know immediately. And we'll go from there. And so, like I said, we will have some more discussions, share the feed, tell people about it. We'll talk more about it. We'll talk real good about these different conversations. Thank y'all. Have a good night from the Good Night Show.